here today?
Well, my name is Antonio Fernandez. I'm known in New York City. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm known as King Tone. I was one of the leaders of the Almighty Land King Queen Nation, New York City. And in those times, of course, I was living a life that was despair, loss, and of heartache. And through the process of growing up, I found out that being a part of a gang could lead to destructive behavior that you end up doing. But I also find out that it wasn't the gang who was making me be destructive, but my own self demons and fears. So in that growth process and going through the turmoil of living that life in a poor neighborhood, East New York, where crime and drugs where they go, I got very sucked into that fast life, and which turned out later to have severe consequences of prison, of being in homes. And so it led to a serious life, which later led to a place where rock bottom becomes a place where salvation can take place. Well, the reason, like most of us, we decided to use the gang, which I call now power groups. The reason I decided to join was the Boy Scouts, the Marines, they wasn't recruiting in my neighborhood. The ones that was recruiting, and not even recruiting, but supporting us, was the drug dealer, the gang member, those other peoples that were taking care of other communities that had good policing, had good school teachers. That wasn't coming to East New York, the paid neighborhood. But the one that was consistently there helping us was the drug dealer. When the rent was short, he would offer my mother a loan. The gang that when I was scared to go to school because other kids would beat me up, they would walk me to school. So it became the remedy of my community that my community denied to offer me. And I joined them, not in the street, I joined them after I got a crack addiction from living the life of a big time drug dealer. It didn't fill that void. So I said, become invisible. And the way I became invisible, I hit the pipe. I smoked crack for 8 years and nobody seen me anymore. I found a gray area to hide, and it led to prison. And being small Puerto Rican and not a big figure, the jail could have a way to make you scared, and that's when the Land Kings approached me and taught me how to read. Kept me safe, told me read books, find yourself, you're lost, kid, and they became my salvation. So when they gave me the deed of finding myself to become the son my mother and father wanted, I seen nothing else that when I came home that I wanted to give back to the group who saved me from myself. So the Lion Kings, other people join gangs for a lot of reasons. I didn't join them, I was saved by them. And I thank them for it. And now, when I came home, I started to use the love they gave me and the knowledge I gained of myself to make and start a revolution within the group. A revolution of leaving the stinking, thinking, and capitalistic pig ideas of drug sales into a more homely and political Black Panther, Young Lord movement.
Yeah.
Let's show true power for one.
So it sounds like your entrance into gang life was kind of born out of necessity because you didn't have the Marines or like maybe some type of mentor figure, right?
Exactly.
And it brings you here to fill in that space. So you're talking a little bit about your time in jail and how that transformed you to get to where you are today. Can you tell us a little bit about what that process was like? What was the epiphany?
Well, the epiphany was that when I came out of there was the 90s, 91. And I came out of Rikers Island, and that's a jail in New York, in Brooklyn. I came home and I started just practicing what I read from Martin Luther King, from Gandhi, from Malcolm X, the heroes that started filling my mind with ways to be powerful without crime and violence. What's true empowerment? What is a true leader? So I started mimicking what I read and practicing within the group. And that's when I transformed them from a gang into a power group. So we started getting involved with police brutality, the National Congress of Puerto Rican Right, National Action Network. So I started looking for outside influences that could teach me and my power group how to get out from the bottom level of where they had us as savages and capitalistic pigs, and we didn't believe in nothing, to where they started giving us our self-awareness, self-identity, and they taught us of the movement that happened in the 60s and how it transformed and how it evolved to where it was. And after they killed our heroes, how the roadmap was cut off and we wasn't informed how to follow it. They started filling in the gaps that me and the brothers needed to understand the true purpose of our group.
So, after you got out, you said you formed a power group, right? And you went to like meetings. You said you had some buildings. What was like? Has the intention of that group changed, like from when you first started to what it's like today?
When I started preaching that, of course, they all hated me, wanted to kill me, because love is a weakness in a gang. Perception that you could start behaving and winning your community back after you made them hate you and fear you is a process, and it's hard. And us, when we lost, we don't want to do a process that's long and hard. It's quick, right? Microwave. Gang wants, like everything else in America, we want it fast and now. So I promised them, if we took these small steps and started letting these outside influences in, and as we listened more and transformed more and did more for the community, that we would get the first thing that we always was craving, was the acceptance of our people to love us, to respect us, and to protect us from those who made us seem and still be called savages, that instead of us arguing to protect our identity and our gang name or whatever, the grandma, the mother would say, don't you call the Land Kings gangsters, they're out there marching for us and they're there for us, so don't you talk about tone. Then the guys started getting pride and they started believing when their own started loving them again. It gave them the fuel they needed for change. And the process became easier. And when we were marching No Justice, No Peace, it started drawing recruitment, not to the black and gold, but to the movement. And the movement became the life for other groups to see a roadmap. So now if you're a gang that shoots a lot and kill a lot, the other gang want to beat you, right? And killing and hurt a lot. But what happens when the gang is on TV throwing up the crown and marching with mothers and fighting for justice? The other gang started saying, hell no, Tony ain't gonna be the only one getting that. We want to be positive too. So then you see the Zulu Nation, the Bloods, the Nietas starting to give out to the community because they wanted to compete against me to show that I wasn't the only good guy in town. And it became a movement of young individuals marching together, 7,000 deep, against the injustices in our communities. Well, what set it off is, first of all, that I seen that within my power group, the only ones killing us was us. And then my leader before me, the Justice Department got him, indicted him, and gave him 145 years in ADX. Never to see another human being, never to get another phone call, never to get a visit. They buried him alive. And when he asked the judge, just kill me, because I'm dead. He said, no, I want you to live through this. And when I heard that, I seen that they have a place for us. And that the mistake that my leader did, that I can't condemn him as a human being, but if I'm a righteous leader talking love, I had to condemn his behavior. That would validate the true one in me. So when I went outside and the media was there, and after they sentenced, they said, why? If you're such a clean guy and change your life, why do you support him? And I said what I just said to you. I said, I'm not here to show the kids to support his bad behaviors. I'm here to show them what does the real gangsters do when they get an opportunity to judge you. And you just judge this man humane. I know terrorists who blew up the first 12 World Trade Centers who are in population in the prison, but I know gang members of street gangs that are not allowed ever to walk the yard.